the whole time I have played with Taylor, and the whole
They're fire.
Is there weed in this?
Yeah.
No, there's not.
Everybody, is there weed in this Rice Krispie?
No,
it's Delta 8. It's not weed.
Yeah, it's Delta 8. You're good.
it's not.
No,
Delta 8,
there's
Emma,
nothing in it.
He's like, hey,
Welcome to the It's So Panic Attack podcast.
that thing you guys did where
Right out of the corner, he goes, I'm going to be fucked in an hour.
that thing you guys did where you're on the guitar and he's like, you gonna watch a podcast or some shit.
So do you like this podcast? Want to kiss my ass? I don't know what the fuck wrong with the podcast.
That shit was funny, bro.
For all kinds of peers. Peers.
Have you ever seen a... No, do you remember that time we were at Brian and Iva's or Brian's or whatever that place was called now? It's always Brian and Iva's, even though they split up a long time ago.
Was this at Brian and Iva's house?
This is Briba's, yeah.
Briba's.
Brian's house. But I drank some tea in the refrigerator. And I was not smoking at the time because I was having severe panic attacks from it, like I am now. And I drank the tea, and it was pot tea. And I had to go off into the cornfield and go throw it up because I didn't get high.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Oh, also, don't talk about where I work.
I won't.
Podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to be on social media.
How are things down at the chocolate factory anyway? Oh, shit.
We were thinking about rehiring Taylor and his people.
Okay, yeah.
I charge pretty big bank, man.
Good hard workers. Good hard workers.
Back in the 90s, there was a big revolution, and my people had to, leave.
They said, I don't like the look of this.
We was singing songs and shit. No, I don't like the look of this.
Dude, that's another thing that I'm pretty sure the CIA,
legitimate.
like people that are born when we were born, the CIA somehow figured out a way to plant like an egg in our heads with those movies, like, because that shit comes on, or if I see like something in that grainy TV color look, it just like throws me back into this time period where I'm like this little kid, you know what I mean?
Like subliminal messaging.
Yeah, it's weird.
You ever heard of subliminal massaging?
Tell us about it, Chris.
Whenever you somehow someone will massage you through a subliminal manner. They don't even have to touch you.
That's crazy. The government could rub you off without even it's just doing something.
Subliminal, like.
I think we're parked, man.
Dude. All I'm saying is, I don't know what I'm saying, but
I think we're parked.
I think we're parked, man. Dude, I was gonna say something because we mentioned Oompa Loompas, or the songs and all that shit.
I just want to say
Slave
Brent
factories
Spiner would have played an even better Willy Wonka than Gene Wilder did.
Who's that?
Brent Spiner,
Who's that?
Lieutenant Commander Data.
Okay.
I still don't know who the fuck that is.
That's bias. That's a bias. opinion.
Fuck that.
No, if you guys actually go back and watch Star Trek: The Next Generation, they have Data put in all of these like Sherlock Holmesian roles. And
Because he's like a robot.
he's an android.
Yeah.
Zach.
I knew I was about to walk into some shit. I said it anyway, dude.
I love Gene Wilder though. Awesome.
But no,
Totally.
every time I've seen him try to play all of these other parts, I'm like, I would have at least liked to have seen a movie with him and Gene Wilder in it.
Gene's one of my favorite actors, man.
He's awesome.
You know, he
Yeah,
married Gilda Radner, dude.
No, I didn't
What
know
a
that.
pimp.
Yeah. He married Gilda Radner.
But do you see how still that is?
Yeah.
I shoot with this hand.
Yeah.
Shoot with this.
I remember seeing that as a little boy, and my dad laughed at it, and I had no idea how that was funny at all, but I laughed at it because my dad laughed at it, and now it is funny.
That's how a lot of British humor is.
It does. It's very Monty.
There was a straight up Monty Python-esque interview I seen recently where some CEO or the PR guy of this company that makes the big oil rig or cargo ships, I'll say. At some point or another, one of the fronts had broken off the front of one of those. And the guy's in an interview talking to this media company. And he goes, so do you want to talk about the ship? He goes, the one that the front fell off of. And he goes, yeah, that one. Why'd that happen? He goes, well, it wasn't supposed to fall off.
I know, just super
And they keep going back and forth. And he goes, so do they normally have regulations for this? he goes, well, yes, absolutely. And he goes, like what? He goes, well, for one, the front's not supposed to fall off. And he
Super
goes,
Monty Python.
do they look at like what type of materials are supposed to be made out of? He goes, well, yeah, absolutely. He goes, well, what are they supposed to be made out of? He goes, well, cardboard's out.
Right.
You guys are talking about movies, dude. I'm ready for the new Roadhouse movie to come out.
Yeah,
Ready to
dude.
see Conor McGregor tear some shit up, dude.
You guys keep talking about that. I didn't
I'm
even know
ready
that was
for
a
it.
thing, man.
He's like
Roadhouse.
if he was like a musician to me, he'd be Lane Staley. Like, he looks like him. He's a world-known dude, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Who do you guys, like, look up to that's, like, whether if it's musicians or people outside of music? Because, like, for me, it's like Connor. I love Lane. Like, huge dudes that...
Joe Pesci.
Really?
Oh, Joe Pesci's a good one.
Honestly, dude, I'm gonna get like weird and like old pappy man here real quick, but I'm just tell you, I don't know how to answer that actually. Like who I look up to. I used to have heroes and stuff. I used to have the influences and things, and the older I get, the more I'm just like, I don't even know if there's any, I don't know, point in it. You know what I'm saying? It's all vanity. So to
Yeah,
speak.
I
can't
I'm not
really
trying to.
trying
I
to
wasn't
get
trying
their
to
goals.
shit on anybody. I was just saying. I got like all hermetized there for a second, but
What
no.
just happened there?
No, I went in down to
Literally, I was zoned out there. Who do I look up to Rod Sterling, the creator of the Twilight Zone.
Sure, like yeah, there's people.
He's
yeah.
very he's a really good writer. Obviously, he's a very good writer, very ambitious,
I didn't even
doing
know.
what he did at the time period, and he's very progressive. There's a couple episodes of the Twilight Zone that are like racial led, like black leads and
Is
you know
he-
women leads and stuff like that. You know, that was very progressive for the time. You know, 1959 and stuff
Who's the
like
dude that introduced it every time? What's his? Is that
Rod
him?
Sterling,
That's
yeah.
him. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was wondering.
What's like weird for me is as a drummer, I've got a handful of dudes who really inspire me, but like really all the dudes who like mean something to me are either frontmen or guitarists.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, obviously, frontmen are going to be the most outspoken, and whenever you're put on that pedestal for so long, that you learn how to be good or very bad at talking to the public, and your opinions are going to be heard more than anybody's. You know?
That's
Right.
that's what I was trying to say earlier. In my like half-cocked way of saying it was just that the older I get and the more experienced I get in this is the less it's like I have these. It's not so much that they're my heroes as much as they are just like
Influences.
Yeah,
You don't idolize as much.
right. And a lot of people that I am influenced by now are my contemporaries. Like like I've allowed you guys to influence my musical flow and so on and so forth. So it's
It's like I'm a big Beatles fan, but I think John Lennon's a piece of shit. So,
really
Yeah.
a lot of people do.
I think the only thing that should have ever come out of the Beatles was Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
I
All of them together
I think
made some
Paul's
pretty good
kind of a
music.
chode, but I don't know. I don't know the Beatles. That's the whole thing. I'm sitting here like,
Don't get to know your heroes.
yeah. I don't know. I
I
don't
think
know who
Paul's
they are.
pretty chill, but
I liked George's chill, but I feel like Paul. I could just see like how Paul would get under my skin if I was in a band with him, because I've seen how him and John interacted and stuff, and like I don't necessarily agree with like John's personality as a character either, but like some of the stuff I've literally heard Paul McCartney say on some of their footage is just like that was kind of a bitch thing to say, Paul.
Yeah.
I haven't dove that deep into it.
Yeah,
so-
no. Well, see, my grandmother was literally at the freaking. She has the ticket stubs. She was at the show, like the historical, like Shea Stadium show. My grandma was there.
Oh, cool.
Bro, that's
Yeah.
what kind of always kept me away from the Beatles is all the kids who liked them in school were all these snobby ones who were like nerds who like only knew music from that day and were like
What's
they
the
were
beef
like,
with them? Like, what's the beef with them though?
well,
The Beatles?
Well, they
Yeah.
I just don't like their fucking music
Their
at
vibe.
all.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
A lot of the times when I hear
I do like
the
I do like
Beatles,
some of their stuff.
I think
I don't like their
several
fans.
things, right? I'm like, one, how is it out of the four of them there's not one decent singer, right? And I'm not saying he has
Oasis.
no pitch. I'm saying when I hear any of them sing, I don't like their voice at all.
Right. It's yeah.
I do hear some good guitar riffs here and there. It would have been great if they would have used that more often. I see a bass player who bought a cheap bass when they first started out and refused to fucking upgrade like ever.
Yep. That's true
And
for sure.
I mean, there's Ringo, which, as I understand it, was probably decent.
Good old Reno.
Um,
Reno.
I know
Great
he's
drummer.
kind of idolized in the drum community to a certain extent, but it's to me,
I don't know. Yeah.
what I like about the Beatles is they opened a lot of doors.
Clem doesn't like the Beatles, guys.
No, I don't. I really don't. They've done a couple things. Taylor showed me Taxman, which if they would have found
song.
a good singer for, I think I would have like actually been able to sit down and listen.
You
to
don't
on a
like their
regular
British
basis.
harmony thing,
I don't mind that a bit. Most of my favorite bands are British,
right? I knew that,
but
yeah.
they have good voices.
Right. I get you. They're just not your vibe, not your flavor.
He wrote a lot of great songs too. A lot of great songs in different genres.
What I like about
They
the
sound
Beatles
too
is that
happy a lot of times.
I like their arrangements. Like
Yeah.
I like the way they put their songs together. Their vocals are kind of, especially the earliest Beatles stuff. Like it leaves something to be desired for sure.
There's some really good deep cuts. Like,
I like their music. I
There
just don't
is.
like their fans.
oh, dude, we're the worst. Like, Beatles fans can be like, it
Pretentious as
blows
fuck.
people's minds that like, I have to catch myself sometimes. You know, it's like, you know, because like me, I think they're one of the greatest bands to ever come out, and not just opinion related. They've proved its success.
Oh yeah.
The fact that they did what they did was just damn near impossible.
Like I don't care a lot about
Would you say the same thing about Jason Aldean though?
well, he has people that write songs for him.
Yeah.
Beatles
Like
wrote
Michael
their
Jackson.
own stuff.
Okay,
but
listen, Michael
obviously it works because he's freaking huge and everybody's trying to copy him.
I don't
right?
care
Well,
much.
you're missing the point. The thing that I'm getting at here is the fact that they did it themselves. They wrote
Right.
the songs. They
definitely
not only,
pioneered
and they
something.
came out with an album every single year.
Yeah, they did.
It wasn't like they came out with one. They took a couple years to work on. They released something every single
They
year.
literally got it down to a science.
And it was and not only that, they were writing just phenomenal music. Like
Yeah.
people back then, they were releasing albums every year because you had to.
Yeah.
That's what the labels made you. But
They
the
could all
fact
play
that they did
piano
what they
and-
did and just wrote bangers all the time was just. But anyway, what I was there's B-sides of their songs that I'm discovering nowadays, and I'm just like, wow, this is a great song. Like there's the one I found the other day called Anna. Go With Him, and I did an acoustic cover of it, and I'm just like, wow, this is a great song.
Yeah.
And I forgot about it, but
They do
I
have
understand when people don't like them. I mean, I'm not out to convince people to like them. You know, it's like me being a Christian. I'm not going to sit here and preach to you if you don't want me to preach to you, but.
I mean, I never was real fancy with the Who for the same reasons. Like I was always just kind of like, they
You know what's
don't.
crazy about the Who?
They
I
had
was,
an actually good bass player though.
yeah,
They do,
I
they
love
do.
John's tone. I like Keith's drumming.
It's the singer. I don't like him.
The only thing and this is all subjective. Who gives a shit? But
Yeah, it is.
the only thing I don't like about Keith, he was an amazing drummer, one of the best. There's nothing there I want to sit down and try to learn
No,
because it's not
it's all
applicable.
over
You
the
know.
place.
I've
Yeah.
heard a lot of drummers use Keith Moon as an excuse to hit hard as shit and not have dynamics too.
I just hit all over the place.
Yeah.
And he was, and the thing, it worked so well for the Who. Like I have no complaints over his drum parts for anything, but it's just like God, some of his stuff. It's
Is
like,
it Sean Kenny, Allison Chains drummer Sean Kenny? Is that his
Yeah,
name?
I think so.
yeah,
That motherfucker.
that dude's a beast.
He's my favorite drummer, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's always gonna be John. I love
Oh, yeah.
Bottom.
Of course, of course.
He was cool.
Yeah, Bonham's a beast,
I
dude.
found myself imitating him a little bit too
My
much.
brother
but
has some heavy kicks like that. I mean, my brother's got some chops like Bonham.
Hell yeah,
You
It's
do
a good
too,
thing to
man.
have. Thank you.
You are
Um,
like on another like level of jujitsu on the drums. You do like way more like finesse. What's the word for it?
He's more
Technical,
he's more of a finesse,
Technical
like,
player.
technical
Yeah.
player, and I've
like Slipknot-esque.
yeah. The only thing I'm missing about Bottom is I need to work on my foot a little bit. He got a hell of a foot. And,
He did too.
But
That squeaky ass pedal, and Since I've Been Loving You, dude.
yeah, I have that exact same pedal. Well, not that exact same one. That'd be cool, but no.
Autographed and everything.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
But what the fuck were we talking about before John? Something about drummers.
The
Fucking
Oh, the
drummers.
Who. Yeah. So what's
Who?
crazy about the Who is I loved the shit out of the Who when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then I got older, and there's still a couple songs of theirs I like. Like "Won't Be Fooled Again" is fucking cool.
I
Incredible.
love the Seeker.
Yeah.
That's a
The
great
Seeker's badass.
Song.
What? I always hate it. We played it at me and my old buddy Daniel and Eric Franson. We played it at a talent show for high school, and I fucked up the drum solo. I always fuck it up because I played in 3/4 instead of 4/4. For some reason, it's instead of
Oh yeah, it does do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I always play it in 3/4 instead of 4/4, and it always threw everybody off because they'd be like, "Oh yeah," try to find out where the. And there's nothing
things.
more embarrassing than the singer like, "Yeah, yeah," try to find that freaking scream. But yeah, won't get fooled again. Bubba O'Reilly's pretty cool.
The Seeker.
Bubba O'Reilly.
Bubba O'Reilly.
You guys like The Seeker?
Ow! Yeah! The Seeker's good. Call me the Seeker.
I would do that one
Um,
for sure.
I always like the drum part for Boris the Spider.
That's cool.
That's definitely a great good example of Keith's drumming.
It's kind of a novelty. That's kind of like a cult classic song. Like a.
Yeah, Boris the Spider. Then Happy Jack. That's a cool drum part
That's
too.
a cool song. It's such a creepy ass fucking song, but yeah.
Happy Jack. Blah, blah, blah,
There's a lot of creepy songs on Tommy, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tommy's a great album.
Creepy
I love
ass
that whole
songs. I love it too.
album. Yeah, creepy. Yeah,
It's super weird, dude.
hey Tommy. No,
Hey, Baby Snakes. Yeah, check out Baby Snakes. It's Frank Zappa.
I can go grab
film.
a couple for you if you want.
Yeah, he's the Snake Whisperer.
Snakes. Yeah, they did 2 rock operas. They did Quadrophenia and Tommy.
Yeah, they did.
They did the original rock opera, didn't they? The Who?
Yeah, Tommy. Yep.
Yeah.
That was that one came first. If you ever
And
see
then
almost
it was
Quadrophenia.
no. The second rock opera done.
Quadrupeners.
Wasn't that the Pink
Quadrupeners.
Floyd album?
I don't know if that was the second, but because Tommy came out in the '60s, like late '60s, I want to say, maybe early '70s, and The Wall came out in '80, right? 1980.
Berlin.
No, like The Wall,
The
like
Wall.
Pink Floyd.
Well,
Mega.
No, the Wall fell down in like what 90, 91, something like that. No,
The Wall, was 80.
80, yeah.
80. I
So
think
I'm sure within that decade or less than a decade so of time, I'm sure somebody released something like that. But
Bro, a band I've really been getting into is Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Bless
They're
you.
a jazz band from back in the day.
I know that
They
name.
tear shit up.
I have to check them out. You got to check out the Dixie Drags too. They were a progressive band back in the day too.
Are they just the Drags now?
Probably they're just the Drags, formerly known as the Oh God.
You guys seen that about the Dixie Chicks?
Yeah, they're just called the Chicks now.
I can't. I won't get into that. I don't have 50.
Yeah, the
Chill
Who.
out, Lady A.
So my my best friend in high school was a huge Who fan, and that's why we covered it at the talent show and all that. And he loved the Who, and he knew like all their songs on guitar and shit. He'd sing them all the time. So I got burnt out on them pretty quick. And
Like the Doors. The Doors don't do it for some people. I remember I woke up one day, and I realized that the Doors were cool. Like just like that. I was like, up until that point, I wasn't aware that they were that cool. And then I woke up one day and was literally like, wait a minute, holy shit,
see,
these guys rock.
I still love the Doors, and when I was in high school, I listened to a buttload of the Doors.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doors and Grateful Dead. They both hit me like that.
yeah, and the Doors, I loved the shit out of them. And then the older I got, I had a songwriter guy that I looked up to that one time he was talking about it, and he's like, I wish I could get into him, but I don't. Somebody said it's like, I don't even know what the hell Jim Morrison is singing about half the time.
Yeah. Well, that's
Everybody
true.
thinks he's some deep guy, but I think he was just really
He
gone.
was wasted. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just wrote about random
dude,
shit.
I
Forgot
read-
what he was writing and then just kept writing anyways once a new thought
Yeah.
came to him.
Yeah, 'cause-
I heard he was shooting up LSD. I heard he was literally mainlining LSD.
Probably. It's amazing that dude
Does that
didn't die.
do anything?
Oh, it probably like.
Yeah, I actually
fries
learned
your
about this the
noodle.
other day. Apparently, if you do it with like Coca-Cola, sodas, and shit too, people will do that.
You'll trip?
No, not trip, but it just the flavor and everything. Like it burns your arm, but it literally hits your bloodstream, the sugars and all that shit.
Oh, you mean like shooting up like
You're talking
So,
mainline
Like soda.
Coca-Cola.
Yes.
I thought you
wow.
were trying to be
Dumbasses do
YouTube
this.
friendly.
That's like that chick that what is the coffee lobotomies or whatever
I
they're
mean,
called?
I knew a guy who used to do that with like liquor, like whiskey.
I could see that. You know,
Yeah.
you get drunk, but like, man, you must really love Coca-Cola if you're
Yeah.
mainlining that
Well,
shit.
no, they just really love mainlining things, is what it is. It's a sickness. It's a bad deal, really.
Shoot him up in liquor. Sounds
People
like a
get
Charlie Sheen
addicted to
documentary.
the act. People, I mean, it's a real thing, man. It's affected my life deeply in the past, man. Like addiction and stuff. And I don't think that'd be a bad thing. We talked about that on here sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it's part of my story. And I'll tell you what, like that's it brings up a good point. Like people get addicted to that, like the act of actually pain line in it, and that's when it gets to be a sickness and a problem.
Yeah, Zach is a recovering coffee enema.
Yeah, I used to butt chug Maxwell House.
His ass is clean.
His ass is black.
Black silk, baby, black silk.
You like black coffee?
So easy.
Shit. It's pure
That
shit.
fold your ass.
Best part of waking up.
Fold your ass.
Best part of waking up, bitch.
Best part of waking up is fold your ass.
Zach's ass in your cup.
I've got 3 days, guys. 3 days, clean and serene.
Wasn't that from My Strange Addiction, Coffee Enemas? That's funny.
I've seen that, and yeah, that was fucked up. That's a thing, man. You can literally, matter of factly, I was in a Walmart in North Carolina, and
You
they
saw
were
somebody
selling those.
Oh,
there
I thought-
An enema?
in Walmart. So it's enough of a thing to where they have them on the freaking shelves of Walmart. You can buy a coffee enema.
So there's
That's a
I
thing,
didn't know
dude.
where that was going. You never know what you're going to hear about what you see in Walmart.
Or from me. Like,
Well,
I don't even know what I'm saying. half
expecting
the
you to be like, yeah, aisle 12, there was a dude doing a coffee enema right there.
I did go to Six Flags once, and straight up, like I was like 13 years old, and it was Kentucky, and I smoked a beezy with one of the employees in the bathroom at Six Flags, dude.
Oh, that's Six Flags. That makes sense.
I know, but I was like a kid. Looking back, okay, another thing. This is funny while I remember it. This just has like small scratches and pictures of like stick figures and dogs on it. But
It
anyway,
helps him remember his past.
It does. No, but I was. What the fuck? I forgot.
Smoked the doobie with the dude at Six Flags.
Yes.
While you,
When you were 6,
And then I was and then
while you're remembering, so when I was in school, we got to take the marching band at Disney World, and we got to march at Disney World, and we got to go backstage to Disney, and there was a strict rule on when we were rolling up in the bus. One of the cast members, that's what they call employees there, cast members, got on the bus and told us like, okay guys, so you can't take pictures back here because we don't want you sending you don't want you posting on Facebook like Mickey Mouse smoking a cigarette.
right.
And I was like, oh, they're just being funny. And I'll be damned if we roll back there and some of the sketchiest, greasiest motherfuckers are playing these damn mascots rolling around Disney World.
I bet.
Just, God damn it. Goofy's just sitting there just hitting on freaking Annabelle or
There's
whatever
some
the
weird
fuck they
shit
are.
about Disney, man. I'm telling you what. Disney might
That's
be
a crazy rabbit.
weird
Hey.
vibe there. Edit that out.
No need
Are
to
you
talk
having a
about
stroke?
Disney need to quit buying everything. Disney to nap. This was
Thankfully,
Disney.
South Park cleared it up for us and told us Kathleen Kennedy's from an alternate universe.
Yes,
He's
they
actually
cleared up a lot of things for us. Actually, the South Park guys.
Disney's nuts.
as long as they leave Star Wars alone.
They haven't so far.
No.
No.
Please don't touch Star Wars.
Get that grubby little.
You got rid of the Thrawn Chronicles. What the fuck?
I'll tell you what, dude. I remember being in like elementary school and finding like those hidden gems. They were like these Star Wars books we found in the library that were like way more advanced than we were. And we were like, holy shit, dude, check these out. This is like about a whole other part of Star Wars we didn't know about.
My good buddy Josh, who's in the Army now, me and him were best friends in high school. Like we were both section leaders of percussion and all that stuff. And he was really smart kid, like took AP chemistry and everything. And he was a big Star Wars fan like I was. And that's what he would read. Like we'd be in 6th grade and he'd be reading like these huge books about Star Wars, like stories and stuff. And I was so jealous of him because I'm like, dude, I would not have I have a Darth Maul book that I've had since 6th grade. Probably read 2 chapters of the bitch. Like I am just not a reader.
Like
and
I'm really into this picture on page 17, dude.
yeah, it's like you buy the book because you look at the cover and you're like, if I keep staring at the cover of this book, I'm gonna know the
It's
story.
like, Grandma, this is $12. Can I get this one? She's like, no, Zachary, I told you $8. I'm like, no, this is $12. And then I don't even read it.
yeah,
So I was a big reader, and I think that's the thing that pissed me off most when Disney took over was all of those books that I had read. I'm a nerd, like big time.
Watered them all
If
the
you
way
can't tell
down.
by the Starship Enterprise sitting on the table. But they didn't water the books down. They said as soon as they took over, hey, by the way, those books and the games and all that stuff, none of that's ever happened. It's not canon anymore.
it's all legends.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just took that whole thing out.
yeah. And they said if you didn't see it in the movies or the cartoons, it's not canon. That doesn't exist. in
Did
the
George
universe
Lucas know
anymore.
they were going to do that?
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I think he said it somewhere in an interview where
I've
he
seen
was,
an interview of
he
him,
was
too.
like talking about it, and I think he didn't want to sell it, but they said something that they were gonna But I don't know. Something happened, and like the first thing that they announced was that they totally you're talking 30, 40 years, however long the first movie's been out, of lore that not just the movies but the fans have made that have been acknowledged by the Star Wars community as being canon. Even the stuff that's not canon, was cool.
Yeah.
Even the stuff that really was legends, not just whatever, the extended universe stuff. You're
like
talking
that.
you're and that's what everybody was so mad about Disney was you took 30 and 40 years of a loyal fan base and just shit all over it.
Totally.
I mean, there was already a story written there.
They wouldn't have done that to the Kiss Army.
Yeah, well, the bastards wouldn't have done that to the Kiss Army. We would have came to their house and shake our fist really hard.
Yeah, rock and roll all night, baby.
Bastards. Yeah. No, but it's just what gets me from a business perspective. If you've already got a solid product that is going to be successful the minute you put it out. I mean, the first movie that they released, which was The Force Awakens or whatever,
was ass.
Yeah, but it did really well in the box office because everybody was. I think it did anyway. Everybody was anticipating it. It's the first Star Wars film we got since Episode 3, and we're you had this huge potential. Everything was already written for you. You have the technology to make these stories that have already been written that everybody wants to see come to life, and yet you choose to pick a trilogy that was written one big cocaine fury.
Yeah.
Like that, the what is it, The Last Jedi? I think the dude had 8 months to write it, or 3 months. I think it was 3 months, and you can tell that it's not
Some of it's just
you can tell he went to a hotel room, fucking did a shitload of. I'm not. Yeah, this is a ledge. I don't care. I'm just joking. But did a cocaine and wrote this whole thing because it's
What gets me too is they had a really solid foundation for the same exact time period that those sequel movies covered, right?
Oh, that George wrote.
Well, George, to an extent, a lot of it was just the books that covered Jason and Ben Solo and Han and Leia's kids, Luke and
Han's story
Mara
is cool.
Jade kids. They had a whole thing there going into Darth Kitus and all that stuff, and they replaced it with this cheap shit.
I love Bronchitis. Darth Bronchitis. He was my favorite. No.
But one of the things I think that,
Then there's a little
that
Uzi
has
Vert.
been taken out of canon is there's a fictional character here in Indiana that you guys may have heard about too, named Taylor Hernly.
Tyler Hernly.
Hernly.
Different, not to be confused with.
He's been running around for a long time, showing up at bars here and there.
The
even
artist,
a couple of big events.
the artist formerly known as Taylor Hernly.
Yeah, he's going by the symbol now. He's a symbol now.
I am the symbol.
Dead Moon. Oh, actually, dude, I got it wrote down on here. We should bring this up.
We'll bring it up.
We ought to show the folks, if we can, one of them fresh new patrons passes that you get if you join our Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Where are they?
I'll.
Where'd they
Hold
go?
'em up in front of the camera.
Yeah, they're right over there. So, anyways, Tyler Hernly.
Sorry, bro.
I'll go get him in a second.
He's had every show he's turned up to, right? And it's to a point where I've got it in the contract now. Because Taylor will go to play a show, and you never know how his name's going to be spelled. It's Hernly with an E between the L and the Y.
I was spelling it wrong at first, for sure.
And one of the shows we played last year, we show up, and it was spelled that way, but they had spelled his name Tyler.
Oh, dude.
So I've put in the contract now, like, if you can't spell the name right, we're losing exposure. And that's an extra $100 that we have to be comped.
That's not a bad idea, really. Like, when it comes to posting and tagging and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, well, you see Tyler Hernly on a fucking flyer, and we show up to play, and then you can't find him on Facebook for some reason.
Oh, dude, my last name's Benge, so I definitely get the short end of the stick when it comes to, like, misnomenclature.
Binge drinking.
Yeah, Benge. I've been called Benge before.
Does that ever
Zach
frustrate you,
Bingy?
though?
No, I got so used to it.
My gosh, dude.
Actually, every year when the Hernleys meet up for Christmas, that's like one of our conversations is how badly they misspelled our name this year. Like, who got the worst? And whoever wins gets like a prize or something. I usually win because I'm the one that gets my name put everywhere the
An
most.
extra scoop of cranberry sauce for you.
crack.
I don't know. Sorry, guys.
You guys
No,
got
that's-
anybody? You guys got anybody you want to go see live this year?
Yes.
The Oyster Clan.
Oh yeah.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
I'd like to go see Liliac again.
Heck yeah.
Who do I going to see live? Well, Sturgill's still resting his voice, so.
There's several bands, man.
Yeah, dude.
Tame Impala would be badass to
A
see.
buttload of local artists. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I need to go out and see more of my buddies.
I'm just ready for
Me
the
too.
summertime to roll back around, dude. I remember I went to go see Incubus and Deftones here in Indy, and it started raining, so everybody had to leave. And I went to go run across what I thought was a road, and it was White River. So I dived right in it, and everybody else thought I was doing it to be like fucking rock and roll, so the whole crowd started doing it.
Oh, God.
Chris is like, that was totally on purpose.
Guys led a revolution that day.
Yeah, dude.
Chris accidentally started a revolution.
The undertow.
Started a
Fucking
riot.
Punched in the face at a concert one time. I think I kicked a guy. I don't remember. I was kind of drunk.
Was it a Shania Twain concert?
Yeah, dude.
Let's go, girls.
It was actually, I was seeing Flyleaf, and Amy Schumer was fronting it.
Really?
Yeah. So, you know.
That would be actually kind of cool.
That
Yeah.
sounds horrible.
Did she have sweaty tits? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. All right on. I can see that. AI would have given her sweaty tits.
I just
What's
found
that
our new
mean?
joke bell.
I was going to say, what was that?
It's like, fine, dude, I'll leave. Fine.
That's your sign to start being funny again.
Wrap it up, dude.
That's what
Wrap
I'm going
it
to use
up.
for. Well, I'll have to start paying Emma for this, but
Yeah,
I'm out of drink.
Um,
That's a joke, honey. I
I
love
wasn't
you.
trying to cut you off earlier either. I thought I just have ADD.
Emma,
Oh,
bring
you're
the
good.
catheter.
Trying to plug the damn passes or whatever. I just thought that was a good idea.
No, you're good. I think it was a good idea too.
Will the camera pick them up like close? You think? Or
Well,
What?
Taylor fucking put it right in front of the camera,
Oh,
so
okay,
I reckon
okay.
so.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, I will put a picture of it
No, yeah,
on
that's
the
cool.
video
I
editor.
just didn't know if that would focus in.
Pull it up. Wait, what was his name? The Joe Rogan's guy?
George Foreman.
I don't believe that's correct.
I don't.
talking about Jamie.
Jamie, yeah, pull it up, Jamie.
He's like the kid that works for him, that does this shit for him.
Hey, pull that up, Jamie.
He's been there for a long time.
Yeah, I would be too. That's a good gig.
That one podcast, Bad Friends, with Bobby Lee and what's his name, the redheaded comic, the
I gotta go pee.
Bill
Talk
Burr?
shit.
no. He's in
Frankie
that,
Boyle.
He's in that Bad Friends. No, I don't know. It'll come to me. Nathan something maybe.
No, I know who you're talking about. I forget though.
He's a dick. He's funny as hell.
Dude, I just recently saw Killers of the Flower Moon. It's a great fucking movie.
You ever seen Midsummer?
Is
It's
that the
fucking
horror
scary,
movie?
dude. Yes.
Yeah, I love that. The dude who made that movie. Have you
Dude.
seen Hereditary?
I think so, but it's not enough. It's been covered up in my mind.
Dude, have you seen?
Midsummer's cool.
It is cool, dude.
It's creepy, dude.
It's-
When he jumps off the cliff, dude.
There's
I'm
a
in.
style to his movies that he's got like going on right now.
Listen, my 7-year-old daughter watches a YouTube channel where there's a kid playing with Legos, and the kid has like 7 million subscribers. So if, like, this better be doing. I mean, this got to be doing it for somebody.
Have you seen Hereditary, Brandon?
No.
Dude.
I've seen a lot of things on people that I knew was hereditary.
Have you seen Midsummer like we were talking about?
No.
It's fucked up, dude. What, you get down to movies? You and Emma watch movies together?
It depends. So a lot of times, Emma hasn't seen like fucking anything.
She said she hadn't seen Titanic.
She
dude.
hadn't seen like anything.
That's how Tori is.
So I spent several years like, Emma, you need to watch all this. And then I would mention something to her. I
Apocalypse
went
Now.
up to her dad one time. I was like, Jerry, I'm kind of disappointed in you. And Jerry's like,
How do you think he feels about you?
and he's like, okay. I'm like, Emma never seen the Blues Brothers.
Jurassic Park, man.
no.
Her dad's an incredible guitar player.
Really?
So to me, it was like, I know Emma's at least seen the Blues Brothers, right?
Had she seen Ghostbusters?
I don't know. Emma, have you seen the Ghostbusters?
Dude, my like favorite movie
Yes.
of all my childhood is The Crow.
That's a cool movie.
It's a great fucking.
Didn't dude die
I
making
love.
that?
Yeah, he died
Yeah.
at the very end.
They're
They
gonna remake it and it's gonna fucking suck. I'm gonna say that
Alec
now.
Baldwin's playing him in this next one.
credit. That is the best joke you've told in my presence.
I'm not taking that out.
I hope they can hear it.
If they get offended by that, they can eat my ass.
I'll be the guy. I don't care.
Yeah. Who's playing the new Crow though?
The dude who plays the clown now.
Bob Odenkirk.
The it guy. Forget his name.
Bob Odenkirk.
I remember recognizing the name of the guy.
I forgot, dude. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
You talking from the new It movie?
Yes.
Well, he did a
He's
good
gonna
job
play
playing
him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I can't. It's no one's gonna outdo Brandon. Like no one's gonna outdo the timeline in which that movie came out.
man.
And Brandon have his whole like grunge look about him. Yeah. Them having Stone Temple Pilots and like all the the whole movie's perfect. No one's gonna redo that.
He's a pimp.
Did you ever see all those shitty sequels to it?
Yeah, they all suck.
Yeah.
And they came out like from very close time periods. No one's gonna redo it.
Yeah.
Stop trying.
Well, I liked Dude. I liked Dude and It. I thought the new It was really
What's
good.
that dude's
so.
name? He was a creep, dude.
I forget. I can't stand him.
You know how his eyeballs get all wonky in that?
Yeah.
Like, that's
That's
he
him in
really
every
can
movie.
Do that. Yeah.
He looks like me.
He can do that. Like he gets his all slack jawed and his eyes get all weird. That's like literally how he looks. He can do that. It's weird, man. I don't like him.
Oh, supposedly it's coming out this year.
He's a critter.
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Skarsgård.
Scars. There's a fucking G there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Skarsgård. I think he was in Rugrats. Good old
He's the kid from
Skarsgård.
it.
Reptar.
Good old Charizard.
He
Bill
looks like what
Charizard.
happened to the kid from Home Alone.
Poor old Jonathan. Look like they did to Jonathan Lipnicki.
Oh man, that was
We don't have time for this, Peter. No, look what they did. Oh Jesus, yeah. I don't know. I like the new It, but they'd be weird as the Crow.
Oh dude,
I thought I don't know. A lot of people talk shit about the new It movie. I thought they did a
there was
damn
some
good
really
job.
creepy parts in that.
Well,
dude.
yeah.
I wish they would have
Came
been.
alive in that movie.
I wish they would have been more natural about it. I felt like there was too much CGI in that movie, which is why the original was creepy. Like,
Yeah.
that shit was. I love like the old props from back then and making a real.
Tim Curry,
Yeah.
man.
Physical
Tim Curry's a
art,
legend,
you
too.
know?
Tim Curry's incredible.
What I always thought, and I usually when it comes to movies, I'm not a good judge of character. Like I think that Hayden Christensen isn't a bad actor, but a lot of people disagree with me.
I love that.
He
was
played
Anakin.
in Skywalker. In Skywalker.
Skywalker,
Star
in
Wars.
Star
Wars again.
Anakin Skywalker in Star
Yeah,
Wars.
Skywalker. That's a Netflix special.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Netflix original. No, like usually when it comes to movies, I'm
It's
not
a
a
black
good
woman, and they just call her Annie.
Yeah,
Annie. Yeah,
she's God.
Anakin. No, I'm not a good judge of character when it comes to like acting and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I thought I really thought, in an age of CGI, I thought what they used with CGI was good. Like a lot of times people can use it and it looks really bad, and I thought it looked really good, and like it just kind of. I was like, that's how you do it if you're gonna use CGI. But I do agree with you on that. Like,
Talking about the present day, It.
yeah, and I like both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them.
They did
Have
do
you
a good
seen
job.
Hereditary and?
I love Hereditary too.
Do you remember the director's name? We were just talking about it. I'm trying. His movies, all of his movies, dude, are fantastic.
Oh,
Like,
dude,
they're-
I don't know. I hate movies like Hereditary because the minute you watch it, you want to find another one just like it,
Yeah.
and you can't.
There's no-
all of his movies have this weird style to them.
Well,
It's-
they're. I think they're like.
He did like Insidious and all that, didn't he? I don't know,
I don't think it's the same dude.
but I don't have my phone. It's
Insidious is
doing the
whack,
video. I would look it up, but
but not the same. I mean,
what was that? Oh, yeah.
Dude, Insidious is another one I can't stand either, to be honest. Like
I don't know.
all those movies are like.
So like movies like Insidious.
Ari Aster.
Oh, cool.
Ari Aster, yes, dude.
PCT.
Ari Aster, what?
Ari Aster, PCT. I don't know.
Find out what it means to me. Ari Aster, man. She said no.
And so you're back from outer space.
Yeah, so, but the Lord of the Rings are a good example of that because, like, the original Lord of the Rings trilogy versus the Hobbit trilogy,
Yeah.
where, like, the original Lord of the Rings, the goal was use as less amount of CGI as possible, do everything as natural as you can. Where the Hobbit was just all CGI.
Totally.
And if you watch both the trilogies, there is this magical beauty, and they're both great. I actually dug The Hobbit, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But if you watch the
Good
original trilogy, there's this amazing, just absolutely beautiful vibe about
Like the
it.
older
Yeah.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
when they're all
it's
charging to war and stuff.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. That's in New Zealand, isn't it?
Yeah, most of that was filmed in. I think all of it was filmed in New
I
I've
Zealand.
love
never heard
that.
of any of that shit,
Ireland
Chris.
and New Zealand and Australia and all those
Yeah.
faraway places.
What y'all looking at?
So
The
Ari
other movies
Aster,
that dude has done.
Midsummer.
he's yeah, Midsommar's one of them.
That's a creepy movie.
Beau's Afraid with Joaquin Phoenix is a great movie.
I haven't seen that
Like-
one yet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of great
I
shit.
haven't seen that.
A24
What's
in
it
general
called?
has got great shit coming out.
Beau is a what?
Beau's Afraid with Joaquin Phoenix.
Is it gonna be like on
It's goofy,
Amazon or?
I'm not sure, but it's a good ass movie, dude. It's
I
got
was-
some crazy ass
Joaquin's
scenes
a
in
weird
it.
dude, man.
Speaking of walking, man, I was so I haven't seen it yet, but I was so disappointed when I found out that the Napoleon movie wasn't that good.
Have you seen it?
No.
Watch it.
Well, because a lot of people are saying that it's incredibly historically inaccurate, which
Is really stupid if you're going to cover something like Napoleon.
yeah, that's a big thing for me. It's like when they made the Gettysburg movie. Like, I'm not going to watch a Gettysburg movie that's incredibly inaccurate, which it wasn't.
Like
It was,
Abraham Lincoln didn't kill vampires.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you know,
How are they saying it's wrong?
it's just historically inaccurate. It's just the things that happened. I don't know exactly, but you know, a lot of historians have listed off all these like this didn't happen like this, and he wasn't even in France for this. So why is he here for
Yeah,
this?
Air- Earbuds
fuck-
hadn't been invented
fuck that.
yet.
Fuck history. Listen, watch the movie. It's a good movie.
Well, I bet it's a good movie. There's no turning back from that. But it's like, you know, they made Waterloo back in the '90s, and it's an incredible movie. And it's like if you're gonna make a movie about a historical figure, make it accurate. Like the dude was a boss. Like you don't need to make
He
shit
did
up.
a lot of
for-
shit
There's-
that would be entertaining that
there's
you
a
don't
lot-
have to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes. The movie's basically more so about his attachment to his wife while he's at war
Yeah.
and him constantly leaving war to go see his wife.
Yeah.
And like the sex scenes in the movie are fucking hilarious.
I bet.
Like-
Oh, I could imagine. Yeah, dude. like- well, apparently he was conceived by a devil's three-way. Like the whole Napoleon's story is insane. So it's like whenever you take something that has this crazy story and you just start adding shit, it's like why? It was already like the whole Disney thing. It was
Go
already
on.
written out for it.
How was he hatched?
A devil's three-way.
What's that mean?
Two guys and a chick.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's how he was conceived.
That's
So-
why you should always do 2 chicks and a guy.
Yeah, it's the Lord looks looks lightly on that one. No.
so okay, so it's a coin toss as to who's
Yeah,
the
he
guy.
doesn't. I don't think he knew who his dad was for sure. But
Okay. Whichever of the two was a
So
little
speaking
shorter.
of Joaquin, dude, I'm ready for the second Joker movie, dude. Lady Gaga is supposed to be his girlfriend in that. I don't agree with that.
oh, I didn't know they were making another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked.
She's
the-
gonna be
Lady
Harley
Gaga's
Quinn.
supposed to be Harley Quinn.
Sounds about right.
Oh, I loved the first one. I mean, if you're not going off of, I don't know shit about the background of what is that DC. So it's like I don't know any of that stuff, but I really liked that movie. That's one of those where it's like, yeah, I wasn't accurate to the actual lore, but there's like. The thing I always liked about the Joker was he doesn't have a backstory. He even says in the comics, I like to keep it multiple choice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's like 15 different backstories for the Joker. And
It's
yeah.
true.
And I tell you what, these new comics they're coming out. I went down a rabbit hole with the Joker the other day. The comics they're coming out with nowadays they took the Joker to a whole new level. Like there's one where he cuts his face off and he comes back with his like some Ed Gein shit with his face like sewed on him and he looks scary as fuck. I mean, like, then you got the Killing Joke where, yeah, I don't know.
Have
The
you ever
Bat
heard of
Who
Johnny the
Laughed.
Homicidal
That's
Maniac?
one you need to look into.
I'll have to look in that. I haven't heard that. I know the Killing. That's the one everybody brings up because he tortures like Robin, doesn't he? Yeah, he like completely tortures Robin because he's trying to like turn Batman into like. I mean, I love the Joker because he's just pure evil.
Damaged.
Like, yeah, and like what's his face? I can't even remember his name now. The guy that portrayed him the best in my
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. You know, it's like some people just want to watch the world burn. He burns that big ass pile of money.
Mhm.
There's nothing more scary to me than somebody that has his capabilities and just doesn't want to get any reward from it.
Mhm.
His reward is watching just the world burn.
Yeah,
you know?
just because.
He's one of my favorite villains ever. But yeah,
There's some like cool CGI videos online of like where people take the makeup off of Heath during the scenes and make it look like him just doing it regular face.
that's funny.
That'd be
He
kind
did
of a
such a
trip.
good job in that movie.
He's a good actor, yeah.
There's actually like a compilation on YouTube where it's just the Joker scenes. It's like 40 minutes of that movie, and I'll just watch that. That's good acting in my opinion, and I love watching.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah. I'm an old man now. I'm like, I feel like such a nerd. Like
You guys have been to plays, right? Like at the IRT and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
I
I've
used
been to one play ever.
They're great. I love that.
I
would
used to
recommend
love going
anybody
when
do
I was
that.
in school.
Yeah.
They used to take us on field trips and shit.
It's a cool date.
I want to go.
Yeah.
So bad. Let's go on a
You
date.
mean like the Christmas shit?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah.
No, just any play. Like
To Kill a Mockingbird, any of it.
Yeah, we went to Chicago on a field trip, and we saw, I think it was the Jekyll and Hyde Broadway musical.
Super cool experience.
Yeah, those things are crazy. Like the workload that it takes to do that stuff as a performer is just insane.
Look up the movie Birdman.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
I have to check it out.
It's-
I just
it's
now
Broadway.
got turned on to that damn Slither movie that we were talking about
Yeah.
beforehand. Jeez. That is a gross but funny ass movie, and I've only seen the clips of it on YouTube. I'm gonna watch the whole thing eventually, but like it came out in like 2006. Corb Lund's in it, which Corb Lund is he's kind of one of those underground country guys. He's real popular now, but I mean,
I've heard of it.
you always forget how far back some of these dudes have been doing this. And that movie came out in 2006, and he's in that movie playing at some honky tonk bar
Are
or
we
whatever.
doing anything with Coulter Wall this year?
I wish, but
That'd be cool.
open up for him.
I don't know if he's playing on a festival ticket or something somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know we've got 2 shows where we're supposed to be opening up for big acts already on the books.
Supposedly.
I ask sincerely because we can do whatever we put our minds to, and you haven't ceased to surprise me with that shit yet. I've met some people that I would consider to be famous with you.
You weren't playing with us when this band like debuted.
No.
As
Yeah,
a-
you didn't
as a
do the
full
Jamie
band.
show.
That was
No.
Jamie Johnson.
Yeah, no, I didn't get a chance to do that.
You want to talk about some pressure? First full band show I've done in years. Don't even know how it's going to go. And we're opening up for Jamie Johnson. That was insane. Thank God it went well.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Probably wouldn't be here if it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Back to the factory later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I'd like to do that again. But supposedly we got some cool shows on the plate. I need to double check with them to make sure that they're still doing it.
I need to
but
get Bengebreakers booked up a little bit better this year.
I got to do something.
I've got a show in February. That's about it.
Yeah, you guys were talking about comics and stuff. I've known kids who had them and stuff, but I never really was able to get into them or anything.
I never got into comics. I owned a bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog comics. For some reason, that was a thing when I was a
there
kid.
were comics for that.
Yeah. There's a
for
whole thing behind
There's
that.
a comic for everything.
There was, yeah. Kiss.
Yeah, and I liked Sonic for a while. I never really got into the whole comic book world. A lot of my knowledge of superheroes and all that stuff is just from watching YouTube videos. I watch YouTube a lot, so sometimes I'll just go down rabbit holes and I'll just pull up Joker videos or something. I don't know. It's just something to learn about where I don't have to read. I just zone out for a little bit. Mostly because I'm working in the garage a lot. And if I'm rearranging the garage or setting up something or building a rig or something, I'll just put on something random and listen to it. My big thing is TCAP, To Catch a Predator. I watch a lot of shit on that stuff. That show's amazing. I love that show.
Yeah, it gets your blood pumping, doesn't it?
Dude, I've seen just about every single episode of that show, and I've probably seen it 15 times. I don't know why, but that's and now Chris Hansen has a new show called True Blue, or Hansen versus Predator or something like that or whatever. But True Blue puts it on, and that's his new series. He's got
Hansen
all white
and
hair.
Gretel.
Yeah, Hansen
There's
Gretel.
a group in Indiana I've been following for quite a while.
PCI.
Yeah, PCI.
Yeah, I follow them.
Yeah, they're great.
And what's weird to me is every time that they're going to deal with somebody in Morgan County,
They're in Indiana.
yeah,
PCI, Predator Catchers of Indianapolis
They're on Facebook.
yeah, they're on Facebook.
or Indiana. I
Every
guess.
time they go to catch somebody in Mooresville, they've got a bait girl, which I believe she's actually of age, but she pretends to be underage.
Right.
And then they'll.
I don't think that's legal if she wasn't.
But they set it up to where whoever that they're baiting out is supposed to message this girl and meet her somewhere. For some reason, every time it's in Mooresville, it's at that Black Friday store.
I know, right? Yeah, and they always chase him out on the parking lot. We got some we got some scrappy dudes around here, like predators. They'll run, dude. And they all like to go to that Black Friday store that we have. I've never even been in there. I don't even know what that store is.
Dude,
Like,
it's kind of
they're
weird.
always
It's like a
finding
real
them
big open format with just a bunch of bins,
is it like?
and then you sort through the bins and see what's in there. It's all like secondhand return stuff, I think, or overstock.
Like, yeah, because like it's weird because I've never seen a store like it before. They'll like at nighttime they'll put like tarp over the front window so you can't see inside of it because they're stocking these bins, and I guess like each bin is like a certain amount of money, and you can go in there and get like I don't know what you can get in there for how much, but I guess you can get some pretty good shit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, but for some reason predators really like to go there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
Bargain
them as
shoppers.
much as it is like the team. Like they've got a reliable location.
They just have an in with the owner. Like,
It may be something like that.
do you mind if we meet up with some predators here? And the owner's probably like, fuck yeah, do it, man. Hell, I'll have a sniper
that's-
on the roof. I don't care.
That's got to be the best way to promote your store, though.
yeah,
Yeah, no kidding. Free marketing.
yeah, your children are definitely safe here.
No predators allowed.
Predators.
It's a thing, man. I got 2 daughters. I worry about this world sometimes.
Yeah.
This world is nuts. No, that's my latest obsession. Well, that's always been my obsession on YouTube. I've been watching that for about 4 or 5 years now.
Hell yeah.
That and I don't even remember right now what I'm on. I get so down so many rabbit holes with YouTube. Wendy Good can send you down some freaking rabbit holes.
It's easy
So
to
can
do.
Y-Files. Y-Files talks about some crazy shit sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You haven't checked out the Y-Files.
I think I have, yeah.
The cool thing about the Y-Files is the guy that makes it is like I think he used to be a TV producer, or he still is, or whatever. So all of his videos are really well made, and they talk about crazy like meth head stayed up for weeks kind of shit,
Yeah.
But he's
You guys need to check out Wife Files. It's just a bunch of dudes sending in pics of their hot ass wives. Wife Files.
Is that true,
that a
Chris?
dating
Is that
website?
true, Chris, or are you just saying things?
yeah, that's been my thing.
Yeah, dude. I've been my YouTube hole is watching like Kill Tony and
Yeah, Casey
really,
Rocket.
I like digging into that Channel 5 shit. Really, I watch all the news and I'll get super paranoid and I don't end up believing anything that I hear. Then I'm angry and I'm pissed. I'm like, everyone's lying. They're all paid by the same something. I don't understand what they're all doing.
much
It's not
right.
this hard.
Yeah. Casey Rocket, you know who Casey Rocket is?
Chris needs to take a break from YouTube for a while.
Is he the comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude's
Dude, I
fucking
love
hilarious,
him.
man.
He's hilarious.
He says, never made it as a wise man.
Yeah. He goes all across the stage, like,
He's
just unscripted,
skits
like, just
down,
fucking
That's cool.
random
He's
shit.
funny, dude. Look him up.
My YouTube history probably makes me look deranged. Like, there's a lot of it that's just like lock-picking a lawyer.
How to fillet
I
it,
watch
too.
him a lot for some reason. But then it'll be, 2-hour-long lore videos on why they went with a wider saucer on the Enterprise D.
That's nerdy.
Who
bro.
cares? Apparently, Brandon.
But I got to hand it to you, Taylor. Mostly because you can't reach it.
Dad joke.
I sip my tea to you, sir.
And boys, what time is it? Is it like, are we on Alaska time or something? I feel tired.
Tired. I know. I'm
What's
starting
in this drink, man?
We'll make some coffee for that next one.
You ever seen that movie Rundown?
I've been run down. I've been lied to.
Damn. Well, I was gonna say that's what's in that drink.
Oh, okay. You
Don't know why.
guys are crazy.
That mean woman
You guys are
made
crazy.
kung fu.
A mean woman made me use kung fu.
You guys are crazy.
Now that was racist.
It's kung fu, man. All right, cut that out.
Edit that out. Let's all do this real quick.
Edit that out. All right, it's gone.
I could have just sworn I seen 2 sets of shoes appear on the counter. Yes, master.
Yeah.
Cut that too.
Yeah, here, there.
All right, everybody pose. And it's gone. All right. Hey. What's your YouTube history, Zach?
Oh, dude.
Do I want to know?
You don't even want to know, dude.
I watch a
you
lot of
watching?
Star Wars lore shit too. I forgot about that.
YouTube history.
That would have been great to mention when I was talking about me being a super huge nerd with the Enterprise and Star Trek.
Well, my brain don't work on your clock, Haas.
I've
It
always,
doesn't even work on my clock.
I've always been a real big fan of like real cerebral shit that just totally bends my mind. Like, I'm really like trying to stay open-minded about all this stuff that's going on in the world right now, and I'm taking it all in and like eating the meat and spitting out the bones basically, and
learning about binary beats and shit.
and there's all kinds of craziness, like he said, man. It's hard to tell who's deceiving you and who's not.
Yeah.
But my YouTube history, I mean, it's got a lot of weird shit in it, conspiracy theory type shit, as you would hear it called. But I don't think a lot of it is. But man,
My big thing is like a lot of the comments aren't shit. Like if you look at these channels, they're commenting on other channels about the same. Like you can tell there's so many bots online,
so bad.
Oh.
and they're all stirring shit, like to divide the public.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
anything you go to look at, you go to look in the comments, and they're not real people.
Dude,
And it's like, what the fuck is?
I get this so many times as just a little old musician like me. I'll just be posting something, and somebody will say something shitty, and I don't know this person.
Never.
I
heard
go
of
on
it.
their profile. They're somehow friends with me, which I accept just damn near anybody. I don't know. I've run into a couple situations where somebody sent me a friend request and I denied it, and they're like, "What the fuck, man? We just talked at a show." And I'm like, so I usually accept everybody,
So do I.
and people can follow me on my page. They don't have to send me a friend request. But anyway, somebody will just comment something shitty just randomly. This guy has no mutual friends of mine. I've never heard of him. And sometimes I think they're real people, and sometimes because some people just don't have any kind of life, and they're just mad at the world. And then some of these people, they're almost like not real. And I'm just like, wow, they're
Account made last month.
something like that. And I'm just like,
Some of these girls out there are real, and they are real girls. That's probably not the real picture of who they are.
and they're in your area.
Yeah, and they really probably are, they're making a gig out of that. They're waking up in the morning, they're sweet talking 50 different guys, and one or two of them old sorry bastards
Oh yeah.
is forking over $100 or so.
I remember in high school, I was 18 at the time, thankfully, but I was 18 and I was talking to this really hot chick, and she had me going for a while. I was like, holy shit, this might actually be a thing.
Yeah.
And then she started like telling me to go to this site, and I was like, fuck. Right. Which, that was like when I was younger and I was learning about scams and shit like that. So I was like, nowadays, the minute that woman would have messaged me, I'd have been like, no, you're, yeah.
Hi, handsome, how are you doing
Yeah,
today?
I promise you, her name was Rajneesh.
Rajneesh, yeah.
I knew a woman who
Wants to see
in
her
this-
bobs and vaginis.
she's in this nursing home, and she used to.
Is that your type?
She thought that she was dating Kevin Gates, and she was like, "Yeah, he wants me to keep it a secret, and I send him money, and I felt real bad for her because like didn't want to tell her that, like, this is not Kevin Gates. You're not dating Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates wouldn't be asking you for
Watch
money."
Gates shows up, like,
I had a
tongue kisses her.
I had a family member. I think it was Kevin Bacon. It was somebody like that. She was convinced. Somebody on TikTok, and I found the profile that was messaging her, and the profile said Kevin Bacon's real profile.
Gosh.
And this person in my family legit thought her kids were all like, it's not real. And it's like, yeah, he says it is, and blah, blah, blah. And we talk all the time, and he sends me pictures. And I'm like, well, send me the pictures that he's sending you. And they're basic ass ones you can dig up on, like, Kevin Bacon amateur shot or something,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm just sitting there.
Standing at the red carpet. Took this for you.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, how's it going? Just hanging out, and you're at the red carpet. Like, what the?
He was in the movie where he went to Alcatraz for like 20, 30 years or something. What was that called?
Alcatraz bacon.
Alcatraz Bacon. That's right.
So what they need to do in the knife and EDC community, we have something like when you're buying a knife, there's so many scammers there that'll be like, yeah, I've got a knife, I'll sell it to you. A lot of these things are worth hundreds of dollars.
You guys ever play guitar with a scammy bar?
Ba-doom-tsh. Ba-doom-tsh.
Oh, hold on.
Good old scammy bars.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, yagi da.
But when you go to buy that knife, the standard now is you'll take the knife and you'll set it on the table, and then on the Post-it note, you will write your name and the date under the knife. That way people know, like, okay, well, he actually does have the knife. And you do that. People need to do that with online dating.
Yeah,
Like, if you think you're talking to a chick, be like, all right, send me a photo of your face with my name next to it.
With your beaver
sticker.
With a
next to
knife
it.
against your throat.
That's really important.
Your face with your beaver next to it.
And your feet.
That's flexibility.
Yeah, just send a picture of your feet and my name.
If you could send me a picture of your face with your beaver next to it, you're in. We're cool.
That's talent.
That's flexibility.
You passed the test.
I know you're the woman for me.
Now stand up and dust yourself off and get in here.
You should not be saying that with a trucker hat on. You look way too legit. Lady, I already know what you look like as an old man now.
Squeegee Pie Merch Co. Suck one.
Suck it. That should be a
Truckers like boys, dude.
Big Red. Suck it.
big red.
Truckers like boys. How do you think they stay on tour?
My goodness.
Oh my lord,
serious.
that's
Man,
some
beep.
Epstein shit. Squeegee Pie Merch Co. You a bitch.
Squeegee Pie Merch Co.
It's in the game.
We don't sell pies. It's that. Squeegee Pie Merch Co. We don't sell pies.
Or squeegees.
Not that kind of pie.
It's funny. I have a customer currently in my records that literally discovered the company because they were looking for a squeegee online, and it brought them to Squeegee Pie Merch Co. And they decided in that moment that they needed shirts.
You know, it's not bad though.
That's cool.
I don't know how many people you're gonna catch that are just like, you know what?
Just
I
that
fucking need
one.
is a squeegee.
That one.
So since you have a business,
Yeah.
So did anybody grow up with Krispy Kreme? Krispy Kreme 2012.
Oh yeah. Wait, what?
No, the rapper,
Oh no.
the rapper on
I was gonna say,
YouTube.
there's crispy.
Wait.
Oh, I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
He wrote like some of the corniest rap. He wrote a rap song about him and his what was his buddy Mike? About him and his friend Mike, and they're like dressed up as Power Rangers and they're fighting the bullies and stuff. Like it was like childish things. And then the guy ended up, I don't know if he was just a kid or if he was, had difficulties or what, but then he started writing like damn good music. Like this isn't a good example, but one of the songs that everybody knows when he started going as Tyler Cassidy was "Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit, he can suck on my dick."
I've heard that.
But he wrote a song called Junkie that was beautiful, but he was trying to get on Rogan for a while. The dude moved to Austin because he was like, I think Joe Rogan's down here, so I moved down here so I could try to find Joe Rogan, get on his podcast. And the dude was like viral as shit back in like, I don't know, God, me and my brother were listening to him.
Tosh.0 days.
Yeah, he was on Tosh.0, that's right. So I don't know why he didn't get on Rogan. He needed to get on freaking Rogan, but he's a hell of a writer, and he can write some pretty cool shit. But right now what he's doing is he's making advertisements for businesses. And he's uploading it, and he's like churning these things out like crazy. So people are like, he's said like, hey, if you own a business and you want me to write a jingle for it, send it to me. And I
know who he is.
yeah, and
I've seen that dude.
yeah, he's been writing these jingles like crazy, man. And
I've seen that guy, man.
the hustle of this guy is just insane. He also talks shit about Jelly Roll's wife.
He talks shit about everybody. He just like went off on Eminem just a little bit ago.
Yeah. Well,
Did you guys see Ben Shapiro did a diss track on
No.
Eminem?
no.
Oh my God, that's gonna go so bad for him. Ben Shapiro.
I don't know if M will
hopped
even.
up with somebody else.
Some shady. I am
I
the
can't
real
remember
shady.
the rapper he teamed up with, but they did a rap track and went after Eminem.
I say you're female because you have female genitalia.
I don't even know if M will even try to respond to that.
No, he might.
At least with MGK, it's like, all right, at least you can rap.
The problem is, rather you agree with the things Ben Shapiro says or not, you don't go after Eminem because it never goes good for you.
No.
It doesn't ever go good for you.
He was a master of his craft.
Connected too.
No matter what political side you're on, though, that Trump rap was dog shit.
Yeah.
Do you like this podcast? Well, I really hope you do. Because we might need a little bit of help. if it be so kind of you, you can just go on over to patreon.com and look up It's So Easy Podcast. We got several different kinds of tiers for several different kinds of peers. We got the $5 a month, the $20 a month, whatever fits your budget. We got it for your muff. So if you be so kind and got some money to lend, go on over to Patreon so our dues can be spent.
It's not hard for me to tell when somebody's pandering. I mean, not even in a political sense, like modern country music.
Oh my God.
It is embarrassing the stuff that they're coming out with nowadays. I don't know how people listen to it because I listen to it and I'm like, well, this is a Budweiser commercial.
Cold beer in a dirt road.
Yeah, and it's like, got my Red Wing boots on. You know, you have to say Red Wing so everybody gets that nice little product placement in a song.
Drinking Bud Light.
Yeah, it's just like it's crazy the shit that like I just can't stand pandering on any sense.
You know, the part that I hate about most, though, is it works.
It does.
It fucking works.
Oh hell yeah, it does.
And I hate that.
And
Yeah.
masses.
It works. You that's the sad thing about marketing is that it doesn't matter what the song is, if you put enough money behind it. I mean, if it's catchy, it helps. Don't get me wrong. It needs to be catchy, but there's already a formula for that.
Yeah, remember, I don't give a fuck about you or anything that you do.
Yeah,
Fuck. Like, come on, dude.
You
Well,
just
there's, like we were saying, pandering, and then people trying to build genuine bonds with people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And too many people today, whether if it's leaders, musicians, whoever, people who are in the public eye, are pandering. They listen to what the crowd says and what they want to hear, and then they go up on stage and they say it right back to you. But they don't actually play a part in the fight or the cause or anything that's happening, you know what I mean? And
well, because back in the good old days, like the 60s, 70s, and it was a bunch of old guys that this new music was coming out, and they didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know how to record it. They didn't know like anything about it. So they were like, okay, we'll listen to these kids, and we'll do it however they want to do it, and then we'll just release it.
Right.
Well, nowadays it's the opposite. We got a bunch of kids that think they know everything, that won't listen to the bands, and they think we know what sounds best, so we're going to do it this way. And that's what I've always heard it described to me, is that's how the industry kind of flip-flopped, where instead of the old guys that didn't know what the hell, it's like, well, apparently it sells, so you just do whatever weird psychedelic shit you want to do in the studio, and we'll release it. But nowadays, it's like, no, we know everything, and we're going to make you sound like everybody else because that's what sells now. And every band does that. It's crazy how, like, I follow bands all through the years, and then they get that big break, and you're so excited for them, and then they just flip, and they sound exactly like everybody else on the radio. Mm-hmm. And it's like, holy shit. Like, it sucks. Like, you don't keep that individuality.
Process baloney, dude. Process baloney.
And it's like, I get them at their perspective. You know, you get to that point where you're like, yeah, all you need is like a couple radio hits and you'll be like, stardom. And I was like, man, but is it like worth that if like the rest of my records have to sound like that? Which I think at some point you sign a dotted line and your shit's if you want to be that big, there's going to be a point where your shit's no longer yours.
Yeah,
You're
can't
just
come up with stuff anymore.
You're just the product, Long gone are the days where like, let's sign this band. And my drum instructor actually said this to me when I was younger. Back in the day, labels would sign you. Like Bruce Springsteen, I think he released like 3 albums before he finally got big. They would sign you and they would like really work with you. They would push, you release album and they'd push you. They'd build that. Nowadays, you release one album and it flops, they drop you like a ton of bricks. They
want you to do the footwork.
Exactly. And nowadays it's even worse than when he gave me that advice, because there's people that like, I've had people tell me, I'll work as hard as you work. I was like, well, what the fuck are you here for then?
There's a certain metal record label, and I don't want to name them because I'm about to shit all over them. But they signed a lot of bands that I've loved, and I thought they were all unique. And they've kind of gone in that direction too, that a new band will sign on with them, and they're like, yeah, okay, so your sound's really close to something we think's going to work. But listen to this other band on our label that's done really good. and we want you to replicate that,
Yeah.
right? There was somebody talking about their experience after they had broken up from well, I don't want to say their name. It's you could say it's an atomic record label.
Okay.
But and you know who I'm talking about, don't you? But yeah, that they were bitching about, like, yeah, they want us to tailor our sound to sound like these artists because they thought we were kind of similar. And if they're doing that on that label, right? You know, when you're talking about a lot of the country artists, even a lot of the guys that are trying to stay outlaw country, as soon as they get signed on to something like that, you hear it happen. It happened to another country artist that I held a lot of respect for, and then all of his songs started coming out, and it just slowly started morphing back into what my Uncle Gary always called bro country.
It's a horrible, horrible cycle. But it's one of those, like, do you want to get up to that next level, or are you happy? Honestly, like, there's been guys that right before they really pop off that level where you're traveling around playing venues and selling out the venues, and, you know, you can travel damn near anywhere in the country and probably sell out the place. That's a fine enough level for me. You know, it's like, once you get anywhere past that and you start getting to the point where you are like a legit celebrity, you're not just a popular band, you are a celebrity, it looks like it's so much headache.
Yeah, I don't want no part of it.
I mean, it's just, the older I get and the more and more I deal with at the level that I'm at, I don't know if I could deal with all that. I mean, obviously you get used to it, and but that's a lot. Like, you're under a microscope 24/7.
Yeah.
And, like, you say something stupid, especially nowadays, it's going to get held over your head for
Ever.
yeah. The good thing is people move on from everything. Nobody stays on one thing.
Well, at some
too
point,
long.
you just got to start saying, like, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. You know, like,
That's where I'm at with
Yeah, me
everything.
too.
It's
Like,
just like
you can put my
everybody
name
gets
on
Then
it.
I
offended.
swear I'll go away.
I mean, if you don't like it, don't listen.
I
I don't know.
I said something about, I was posting something motivational about, like, you know, if you're trying to be a good writer or a good musician, just believe in the process, have faith, and, you know, just keep working. And somebody commented something like, it's like, who are you to say whatever, you know, you can speak for everybody, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I can't please nobody. I posted something motivational. I have somebody bitching at me. It is insane nowadays how easy it is to piss somebody. You can do anything and piss anybody off. And I found that out when I started 2 more projects this year.
It's impossible to please everybody.
I pissed people off when I told them I was playing drums for another band. Like, what's wrong with your band? I was like, there's nothing. That's why it's still here.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah.
It's just like you can't do anything
People
without pissing people off. So I'm just like, you know what?
That's
There's
why I
a-
like playing bass.
The cool thing is, though, there's a lot of people that love me, though. And
Yeah.
a lot of people that'll follow me wherever I go.
That's
so
what you got to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, silver linings.
it's crazy. You get all these people that support you, yet people focus on the people that hate you.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. The negative always
Yeah.
outshines the positive.
And with that, I think it's a great time to wrap up episode 6. I think that is episode 6.
The
Return of
Dave
the Jedi.
Ramsey Show.
Yeah. I gotta return soon. Anyway. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, thank y'all guys for tuning in.